back at you. Back. So this is part two of what it means to be a real American. You feel me? Because people always try to separate them. They try to use the American flag, like, and it's always those people who are like me. You feel me? Like, if you study the history of America, you can understand why hurt people do want to hurt people. You feel me? People, they been hurt, my nigga. A lot of niggas been hurt and sometimes do not know how to use that negative energy and turn into something positive. Like, you have to know how to learn from these hurt. I'm walking backwards right now because the wind is blowing and I realize that sometimes it fucks up the audio of when I'm talking. So having a hoodie on and everything else like that, it helps out with my audio. But yeah, most of these people are just like you and I. Like, you feel me? I'm an American, but I'm a first generation American. You feel me? I have friends who are like third generation American, which is not really a big difference between the two. My son is a second generation American. Basically that's kind of like how I go. If you can form your own generation through your lineage, whoo, that was cool. If you can form your own generation, so every child that you have is like another generation of things. So even if it's 3 generations, that's nothing. That's like the 4th generation. Come on, man, let's stop playing. We talk about people that been here for a very long time. You feel me? I'm trying to put out the people who have been here for a very, very long time. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a whole lot of generation. Calculate that by 10 kind of generation. You feel me? People who had kids on top of kids, who have a lineage where they can point to. They have a story to tell. My grandmother said that. My grandmother said her grandmother, great grandmother said. You feel me? Those kind of stories, not stories of what I would tell you as a first generation or what somebody else would tell you as a 4th generation. Most of the race and the racism usually come from us. You feel me? From things that we've learned about this country, and we try to use that to our advantage. And some of us spill kind of biasness and hate because of these things, because it's in the fabric of the country itself. You feel me? I believe that very strongly. I believe that very, very strongly. You know what I mean? The only way, if I was going through something, right? And I'll do it like the way I spoke. I'll speak it the way I spoke about Superman and his brother. Or Superman, no, I ain't even gonna use the word brother. Superman, his father, right? So Superman, his father was going through something, a little situation that was going through. They've been going through that situation for so long that they have found ways to overcome it in different. They still working on it, but it's taking a little longer, right? But they have went through stages. They have went through stages within that situation that we, as a people who just came here, are not experiencing it. So they far ahead of us in those situations. And when you hear somebody going through something and that person tells you like, yo, I have this form of disease or I have this bad news, your first reaction is like, oh my God. But then you wondering, damn, how come you still in good spirit and everything else? The reason why that person looks like he's in a good spirit because that person has been living with that. You don't know when that person decided to tell you. You feel me? So your oh my God moment, so your oh my God moment, he already had that moment already. He probably move on to, okay, what am I going to do now? How can I, you feel me? Decisions has been made between that. Now you get to that point. Now you got to think about these things where he already went through that. You feel me? So sometimes we come into a situation and we thinking, I'm like, you first have to think, okay, I'm now hearing this information. My reaction is kind of late compared to the person who's telling me that information. Vice versa, if you was to tell somebody else, that person will have the same reaction to what you told them, and you like, yeah, I reacted the same way. But then you have also moved forward in reaction in ways that you can think about it. And sometimes your numbness to the situation, sometimes if you don't do nothing about it, sometimes some people become numb to certain things. It becomes part of their reality, or they normalize certain behaviors. You feel me? You over here going crazy, like, yo, what the fuck, you can't, like, you feel, but it's like it has been normalized sometimes. So these are the things that you have to look into. You feel me? So what I'm telling y'all, look, man, what does it mean to be a real American? When it comes to American topics and everything else, not everybody is qualified to speak about these things. I'm sorry. We are all, we can contribute, which we have. We can add our 2 cents to it. Be like, hey, this is a way to look at it. You can do that, but you have to. You can't just be like, well, you guys is not doing this and point and blame and everything else like that. What does it mean to be a real American? I don't have all the answers. It's just a question that I pose. I think to be a real people that I would think that were real Americans to me would be somebody like a Malcolm X, would be like MLK, real American. No, there's one. Hold on. I'll say John F. Kennedy. I like John F. Kennedy as an American, a real American at that. Even Barack Obama is not a real American. Unfortunately, he's just like me, first generation. He did tremendous in his first generation. You feel me? In that short period of time. Yeah, of course, because a lot was already accomplished for him to be in that position to be the first black president. Well, quote unquote, the first black president. Look at how much war and how much friction and how much earthquake had to take form for that mountain to be formed itself. You feel me? Look at how much land had to bash against each other for Barack Obama to be in that light and in that form. It would have been impossible back in the day for somebody of his stature to have a black man and a white woman have a baby. I would have thought that baby would become the work was already put in for him to be an American, or for him to be the first black president of the United States. So when we talk about what it means to be an American, that question it's not for just the average American, which is us. We're talking about the real American. What does it really mean to you? I want to know from the real American. You feel me? And most of the time when we ask these questions, we ask people who just came here, who seems to be like myself, ripping up the benefits of the things that have already been accomplished already. You know, the hard work has been for. People used to be lynched for some of the things I'm doing right now. I would have got killed for just talking like this. Like, who the fuck this black nigga thinking? Lynch that nigga. You see? So I don't take these things for granted. So I have to acknowledge these people every time when I speak. Unapologetically. I don't care how you feel about it. You feel me? Because they didn't have the right to do these things. They didn't have the right to speak their mind. They didn't have the right to even read. Listen, what joke are you playing on me and tell me you can read? Come on, man. Easy. Like, you feel me? No. My mustache. I like my mustache growing. Anyway. Yeah, he's like, what kind of cruel joke are you playing on me? Don't tell me you can read. These are the things that they had to deal with. So yeah, today is kind of like windy. You see the clouds. Sometimes you can just tell looking at the clouds if it's gonna rain, if it's gonna rain hard or not, where the rain is coming from. That's another topic. I digress from real on that. So what does it really mean to be an American? You feel me? I know some people is gonna hate me for this, and I'm going against myself even when I say what is it? I'm not really a real American. I'm just an American citizen. There's a difference between being a real American and being an American citizen. If it wasn't for the actions of the real American, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to be an American citizen. And I want you guys to very much understand that point of view. Understand that. Like, get it through your head. Feel me? Get it through it. If those actions didn't take place, then amendments and policies wouldn't have been written for that, for me to have that opportunity to even have the benefits of being an American citizen. Because there are benefits of being an American citizen. And we can tell that just by speaking to somebody who has a green card or an immigrant. They be like, I can't, I know we don't, I can't do that. I need an ID. I can't even vote. There's benefits of being an American citizen. But what does it, we want to know. We need the American government to separate an American citizen from a real American and an African American on whole. Would I consider them to be a black American or an American, period, who happen to have dark pigmentation needs to be separated from quote unquote being a minority, because the black American is not a minority. He's not a minority. I'm sorry to tell you guys that. He's something on his own. Just like they don't have white being part of the, they don't have a majority, a category for majority, and white is competing with some other group. They don't even say majority. They just say minority. I never heard of the term majority when it comes to the race. They only they only use that when it comes to the other groups apart from white. They use my no. From now on, the American who has a darker pigmentation is up there with the way. It doesn't matter about his population. It's the work that he's put in. He's already up there, mama. He's up there with his white counterpart. And every other race, like myself and others who came in after, we are the majority because we are visiting. You feel me? And in the long run, we will become them. So we ought to learn from them because they already been where we've been already, and they've already put in the work. So that being said, look, man, don't take it offensive because this shit, because I have to speak it like it is. You feel me? The reason why I happen to be an American because of the work that was already put in by those who was here and fought for those rights. Feel me? They had to fight against people who did not see it as such. You feel me? Look at how long it took them for them to even recognize people who was here before them. You feel me? We had to teach these things to them. You dig? It took a while. It took a while. When you dealing with a privileged kid, sometimes, yeah, certain things it's like saying knowledge they didn't get. You feel me? So you had to, drill in their head like, yo, I mean, like when things are given to you, yeah, it's very hard. And that's just it's not nobody's fault. Sometimes people go the things that you go through help you gain greater knowledge on other things. You feel me? So you just gotta be thankful for the struggles that we go through as people. It helps you gain knowledge for other things. So that being said, I still haven't answered what it takes to be a real American, but I did give you an example of people who I thought that they were real American. The reason why I picked these people, because they fought for the things that they believe in. You feel me? They they fought for the things that they believe in. Feel me? Someone like Malcolm X and MLK, and I said John F. Kennedy. These people, in my mind, and others like Terry Roosevelt, you know what I mean? Just to name a few. I really can't go through the whole list of things. I don't think Albert Einstein was he was an American citizen. Probably later on became an American citizen, but he wasn't a real American. I don't think Barack Obama is a real American. And these are all great people. Tesla, I don't think Tesla was a real American. These are great people. I'm telling you, I admire these people, and I admire Barack Obama. I admire, how I feel about Albert Einstein. And these people have their own stories to tell. But when it comes to being a real American, most of the people that you see today are not really real American. Most of them are just American citizens. You feel me? When you speak to some of them, they be like, "Oh, my parents came from this Caribbean," and These are just first generation Americans. Some of them are not even first generation yet. What else? You have to really speak to those who parents have been here for a very very long time, and there's not that many left because they keep missing the we keep miss being in, we keep mixing it up. You feel me? Although black and they look black and black, but that this black is from somewhere else, and then we are Africans at the end of the day, which is a fact. But when you separate a group of Africans for that long period of time, you can tell. Even when you look at the African American today and take a look at somebody like myself, there is a difference. Although we share the same pigmentation, you can still tell the difference right away. Unless you racist and everybody, all Negroes look alike. No, some of these niggas, they all look alike. What the hell? What are you talking about? Yeah, you gotta laugh at it. Word up. But truth be told, yeah, it's the truth. Like, you know what I mean? Most of these people are not Americans. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Civil War was already fought. You know what I mean? If you didn't fight for your country in some form, I'm not talking about the current fighting right now where we out here we invading other people's privacy, you know what I mean? Try to take over oil and shit. That's not war. I'm talking about real war. Civil war, now that's a real war. Not no bullshit civil war that is going on right now with the guerrilla tactics and everything else like that. I'm talking about real. Most of us can actually we can actually call somebody in another country and speak to them and know most of, you feel me? So that being said, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna name this what is a real American too. This the first one I got. Hopefully I still got the audios and everything because shit be deleting on their own. I don't know how that shit happens. It just happens. But yeah, I'm gonna go in actually. So what does it? What is? Not the what? The question first I posted was, what does it? What does it take to be a no? You can't. It doesn't. It's gonna take a while for you to be a real American. What is a real American? You feel me? And I know I will be attacked for this question, but it was necessary because these sucker niggas out here very scary, and most people they just don't want to hear the truth. You feel me? They want to use their ideology until I put into perspective. Like, look, man, there's a difference between being a real American and the United States government writing, a few things to make us citizens. You feel me? There's a big difference. You feel me? Creating a loophole so they can make us part of something that was already great. You know what I mean? That's what it was. That's what American citizen is. But what is a real American? You feel me? Is it a native? Is it the way we think? Is it what you do? Is it what you stand for? Because some people, I'll close it with this. What American stands for, a person who's a first generation American can be more of an American than somebody who has been here for a very long time. And that's a fact. And that's based on mindset alone. Feel me? Now, this be closing it off. So somebody who has been here for centuries, family-wise, generation upon generation, can be more non-American than somebody who just came in, just get it right away. You feel me? So that being said, that's just a closure. So what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you?